Warning, there are people pretending to be me in the comments and on social platforms. I'll never ask you to add me on WhatsApp or Telegram, and I'll never ask you to send me money, crypto, or your personal information. Alright? So please be careful, use your common sense, and don't let any of these imposters fool you. Alright? Now back to the video.
Hey, how's it going, GPU heads? Thanks for clicking on my video. Seb Heslo here, and I'm here today to talk with Hobbyist Miner about sort of 4 ways to stack the odds in your favor when it comes to successfully spec mine now during this sort of mining bear market. And before we jump into it, I just want to say that this is actually one of a 2-part video series where the second video will be up on Hobbyist's channel. So we'll have a link to that video at the very end of this video. But Hobbyist, how are you doing? What's going on?
Doing great, Seb. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk about this.
Yeah, thank you for coming on and talking with me about this. So let's jump right into things. The first one is sort of, how do you find new coins to mine? Because we obviously want to get in on coins as early as possible. And I'm going to right off the bat here start with a great way to find new coins is actually on the website miningpoolstats.stream. If you hit up that website, there's actually a little section on the left where you can click where it says new coins, where they will just list new coins as they sort of become available to mine, as they get listed on that website. And for new coins that are up and coming, it is obviously very attractive to be listed on this website because it gives exposure to your coin. So what usually will happen is coins will be listed on there pretty early on in their lifetime. And then, so that is one way of finding brand new coins. Hobbyist, I believe you have another way of finding new coins, is that right?
Yeah, so Miner Pool Stream's a great way to do it. I've been using that for quite some time now. A lot of projects pop up there early on. Another avenue that I like to go to is just being active in the community with keeping an eye on your Discord and what conversations are going on. If it's in like my Discord or the Misfit Mining Discord, keeping an eye on Reddit. There's some of these things are posted up there like, hey, I came across this or I found this. Even on Twitter, like I'm a big Twitter guy. Not everybody is, but I'm a big Twitter guy. And just keeping up with some of these projects out there, just coming across them. Somebody mentions it and spending a few minutes just doing your research, I think is very valuable. So utilizing social media to find these projects before they go ballistic, I think is a great avenue to go.
Absolutely. And even just to add to this, some of the very old school social media, like the old Bitcoin Talk internet forum and places like that are still very much active to this day, are great places. Like you just gotta cast a wide net, and then every once in a while you might find something that's really new and up and coming, and you might just get so lucky. And that kind of leads us on to like, when is the best time to spec mine a coin? Well, obviously as early on as possible, or rather while the coin yield is as high as possible. You want to get as many coins as possible. And usually that tends to happen as early on in a coin's lifetime as possible, before a lot more people find out about the project and start mining it. And that will in most times be before they're even listed on an exchange. So that is kind of one of those where you can have a real advantage as a miner, is you can get in on a coin so early that the only way of having that coin is through mining it, because you can't even buy it yet.
Yeah, that's a great way to go, and a great avenue to look at. Infancy is key. Another one that people bring up too with that is like, it's not public. No one knows about it. It's kind of hush hush. Like, that's the best time because you're getting the most yield. Yield is huge. You want to get as much of that coin as you can before it kind of takes off. A good example is like a YouTuber. We'll throw this guy under the bus, Red Panda Mining. Before he makes a video on it, you want to make sure that you've mined a significant amount and your bags are full. So those are, as Seba said, some of the best times to be spec mining is when it's hush hush.
Yeah, and obviously, just tongue in cheek, we love Red Panda Mining. Absolutely nothing against him. He's my favorite. Sorry, Hobbyist Miner, but he is my favorite. You're a close second though. But Thank you. Absolutely. Like the point being, you want to get in hopefully before any of the YouTubers even find out about the coin, because when they do, they tend to bring a lot of hash rate to the coin because they bring a lot of attention to it, which could be good for price discovery and that whole point, but obviously more hash rate means less yield. And talking about sort of yield and protecting your yield, because the name of the game with spec mining is, you want to mine a huge bag of it and then hopefully wait around for what can maybe be a few years, and hopefully the project takes off and is all of a sudden worth 10 times as much as it was in the beginning. But you want to make sure you still have those coins like available to you after those years. So hobbyist miner, I believe you have some tips for that.
Yeah, so for keeping up to date on the project and really keeping your eyes on it itself, I think one of the big one is the fact of like, don't just mine the coin and then forget about it. It's definitely important to keep up to date on that project. So one of the ones I like to do, and this doesn't work for everybody, and granted my Discord list is big, but joining that project's Discord. Almost all these projects have a Discord. Some of them are very quiet, but even just joining and being a consumer of just consuming the content that's on there, learning about the project a little bit more, seeing what announcements and updates are coming. Their roadmap is good as well. That's a nice one to know about. That definitely was for me with Neoxa, like learning the roadmap of what's to come. So as a miner, I know that the percent that's going to miners will change down the road. Just educating yourself on that. And then finally, I like to follow them on Twitter because I think it's important to know like when they drop a new update to their wallet and I have to update, or something new's coming down the line for the project. So those are some items for me that I like to do with spec mining to keep up to date on the project.
Yeah, 100%. And the sort of reason I want to sort of just like mention this again is you want to make sure you're not missing anything. So with these coins being very, very new, what can come are big changes. And those changes could be something like, oh, we've done a complete rework of the wallet and you need to update the wallet before this certain time, or all of your mined coins will be lost, or like you just want to make sure you don't miss something big like that. We're not saying join their Discord and talk to everyone every day and reply to every message. Just sort of keep yourself a little bit in the know, like check their announcements in their Discord, see if there's something going on their Twitter every once in a while, just so that you don't miss out on something. And with that out of the way, I'm gonna cover the sort of last little topic of today's video, which is like calculating how much you will actually mine with this coin. Now, if for some coins kind of early on, there will be profitability calculators available on the internet. However, how accurate those are, that could go both ways. But if you're early enough on a coin, there might not even be anything like that. Yeah. So how can you sort of roughly do the math yourself on how much coin, or if the coin is listed on exchange, therefore how much sort of money you would be making spec mining, on if it would be profitable. Now, as we mentioned, the point of spec mining usually isn't to mine profitably and sell your coins immediately. It's to mine it now and hold it for 1 to 15 years in hopes that it will go up a lot in value, right?
Yep.
And sort of the simplest way of doing this is start by just finding out how many coins are issued to miners per day. And the reason, the way of doing this is just check what the block time is. So how often is a new block mined? And then check what is the block reward? How many coins are distributed to miners per, mined block? And then just multiply those, and that should give you how many coins are being paid out to miners per day. And then just take that number, put it aside, remember it, and then look at what the network hash rate for the coin is. So the full, everyone mining right now, how much hash rate is that? And then take that and see how much of that is you, and see, what's your hash rate and what percentage of the full, network hash rate is that. So If you have 1% of the network hash rate, then you should expect to receive, 1% of that daily coin issuance to miners. So that is sort of the very basic math you can do to get a rough idea of how much coin will you receive each day mining this in comparison to the whole network hash rate. And as I said, if the coin is listed on an exchange somewhere, you can then use that price to see, is this profitable for me to mine this coin? How much would it be worth if I were to sell it right now? But then again, you're spec mining. Why do you want to sell it right now, right?
Yep, 100%. You want to hold on to it and wait till down the road. I mean, look at some of the people that early on mined Bitcoin or early on spec mine Ethereum, and then look how many years they had to wait to get to now. It's not a mine now and then a few months later it's worth $100. Maybe, but most likely not. So no, I think it definitely makes sense. You want to mine it and fill those bags and then hodl it as long as you can.
100%. And I think that's it for this video. Now, definitely go check out the video on Hobbyist Miner's channel. It will be on the screen right now or up in the card in the corner, as well as in the description of this video. We're talking about the dangers of spec mining and things you really should be aware of. So don't forget to go check that out and subscribe to Hobbyist Miner. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Goodbye, bye, bye.